Hello friends. So once again here we are with the part 2 of our introduction. So in our last discussion we have talked about till memory capacity. What is memory capacity, what is RAM, what is ROM, then what is secondary memory, that we have discussed. See, RAM is random access memory. From any location you can access with the same speed, right? First bench person and the last bench person in the class, according to RAM concept, will give us the answer with the same speed, right? Then beat, byte, nibble we have discussed. Then what is word? This is very important. What is word? Huh? Then secondary memory. Secondary memory access is serial, right? That track cylinder concept is there. So depending on at what location you are and where from you want to read the next data, depending on that, if that various the, the time will vary, right? Then next is we will be doing some numerical on memory capacity. So see, before doing that, I would like to clear some that binary concepts. So 2 to the power 3 is 8 because when we talk about memory capacity numericals, we'll be talking in binary, right? So that 2 to the power 3 is 8. These numbers we need to remember. 2 to the power 4 is 16. So we have 16 locations. So how many bits do you need? For that, we require 4 bits to represent our address. So because of that, I'm telling this. Then 2 to the power 5 is 32. And see, we need to remember this because later on while doing numericals, maybe in this course, maybe in operating system, this is required. And these things we cannot afford to do mistakes, right? So 2 to the power 6 is 64, 2 to the power 7 is 128, 2 to the power 8 is 256, then 2 to the power 9 is 512, then 2 to the power 10 is 1024. Because see, we used to say na, that memory capacity is 1 KB. What does it mean? Memory capacity is 1 KB. That means your memory chip has got 1K number of locations are there. How many locations? 1K number of locations are there. And each location can hold 1 byte of information. What is byte? Byte is 8 bits. So one location can hold 8 bits. So together how many bits it is storing? 1K into 8. That many number of bits it is storing. So what is 1K? 1K is your 2 to the power 10, right? 2 to the power 10 exact value is what? 1024. And see, one more thing, in our traditional number system, when we talk about kilo, what we understand? Kilo means 1000, right? So this 1024 truncated to the nearest thousand will become what? 1000, and this 1024 quantity is said as 1K. And in powers of 2, what it is? 2 to the power 10. Okay, 2 to the power 10. Then next is 2 to the power 20. 2 to the power 20 is what? 1 mega. Mega means 2 to the power 20. So 2 to the power 20, what it will be in 10 to the power? It is actually 6. And in powers of 2, it is 2 to the power 20. Just to make the analogy with our traditional system, that mega word is there, kilo word is there, right? So 2 to the power 20 will give us 1K into 1K, that is nothing but 1 M. M means mega. Next one is giga. Giga is 3Ks, right? Then is tera. We can go on, but I'll be stopping here only. 2 to the power 40 is 1 tera. If we can remember these powers of 2 and what they are representing, then it will be easier for us for doing the numericals, right? So see, why I have discussed this, you will understand. I am going to do one small numerical here. See, a processor is connected to this amount of memory. This size memory module, a processor is connected. Then they are asking, what is the width? Width means what is that how many bits are there in the address bus and the data bus, right? What does it mean? What this numerical is telling us, one processor is there connected to one memory, and see, whenever you have a memory module, it will be having some address lines coming to it. So processor will give address information and that will be pointing towards memory. So this address will be given by the processor and the set of wires that carry this address is called as address bus. Then from this address, one location will be selected in the memory. Then from this selected memory, you may give data to the processor. From this location, you may give data to the processor, or processor may give you some data to store in this location. So this data bus with this data bus direction is bidirectional. Both way communication is possible, but address is unidirectional from processor to the memory, right? So now they are asking us what is the number of wires present in this address bus and what is the number of wires that are required in the data bus. So how to do it? Next we need to think of. So see what it is telling, 128G by 32. See, when I said in the last slide that your memory capacity is 1 KB, what we have understood? 1K number of locations are there. One location is holding 1 byte. Now what they are saying, you have 128G by 32. This you can say is 1K by B also, na? 1K by B. Similarly, this 128G by 32, that also you can say is what? See, 128G by 32. That means in your memory, how many locations are there? How many? 128G. These many number of locations are there. And each location is capable of holding what? 32 bits of data, right? That means the content of that memory location length is 32 bit. And how many addresses, different addresses are there? 128G, right? So we need to tell how many address bits will be there to represent these many different addresses. So see how it is done. You know one small example, right? See, you know this example. If suppose in your class total 8 number of benches are there. In your class how many benches? 8 number of benches are there. Then 8 number of benches are there. And see 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is the bench numbers. I want to talk to some students sitting in a particular bench. So I'll be telling bench number 2, bench number 3 like that. This is my decimal number system. But what I said, memory is going to store your information. Your information is only in binary. So we need to talk about addresses also in binary. So see, if I need to talk about addresses in binary and I have got total 8 number of addresses. 8 number of addresses, na? How? 0 through 7. Then to represent one address in binary, how many bits do I need? That I need to first understand. How many locations? 8. I need to represent the address in binary, right? Then what I have to do, whatever is the total number of address is given to me, that I will express it in powers of 2. So what is 8? Last slide only we have seen 2 to the power 3, right? Then whatever is this 3, whatever is this exponent, that will be nothing but number of bits required to represent a unique address for your memory, for your bench numbers here. Okay? Once again, I will discuss. See here. You know in the binary that using 3 bits, we can represent total how many combinations? 8 combinations will go on till all 1 1. That means using 3 bits, I can have total 8 addresses. How I got it? 2 to the power 3 equal to 8. These 3 lines will be connected to one decoder. The decoder can produce 8 output lines. But depending on your input, at a time, only one line will be selected. Only one location in the memory will be selected. Out of how many? Out of 8. Because your input is 3. 2 to the power 3 is 8 due to that. This part is clear or not? Okay. If it is understood, now we'll go to the next level. See, 128G by 32. So, this says what? In your memory, how many locations are there? 128G number of locations are there. Please make analogy with my previous example. So 128G number of locations are there. I need to represent one location number in binary. Then what I have to do? I need to decide the number of bits to represent the address. For that, what is the step? Express this quantity in powers of 2. So what is that? 2 to the power 128 is 2 to the power 7 into G is 2 to the power 30. So as a whole it is what? 2 to the power 37. So this 37 number of bits are required to represent a address in the memory. To represent a address in the memory. Understand? 37 is the bit, are the bits required to represent a address. And after representing address, we'll go to a location, and in single location, how many bits are stored? 32. Yes or no? 32 bits are stored. Understand na? So due to this, what will be the width of address bus? Now the point is clear. How many bits you require to represent an address? 37. And that will be the length of your address bus. That will be the width of your address bus. Done. So this part is 37. Next was data bus. So data bus will hold the content of the memory location. So what is the length of your content? 32 bits. So data bus width will be how many? 32 bits. Do understand one thing. Here I'll tell you one word of caution. Data bus with never decode because it is carrying information. We cannot decode it. Please do not tell that it is 5. Because data bus is carrying your information. Some 1010 combination is you're holding your data. What is your data is not known to me. So I cannot decode it, right? So it is directly 32 bit and address bus length is 37 bits. And at this moment, do not think why it is 37, why it is 32. Means why part is understood. Why such big numbers? How the things are handled. That we'll see in our due course, right? But as of now, you need to understand to connect this memory to my processor, I need to have 37 bits of address coming from the processor side to the memory. And my data bus width will be 32 bits. Hope it is clear, right? Thank you.